Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? So today I want to dive right into how to sell online personal training using social media via Instagram, Facebook, or whatever social media that you use. You can even use LinkedIn, you can use Twitter, you can use what is it? What is it? What is it called? TikTok. Yes, TikTok. You can use that too. So this is how you are going to start converting your content to sales. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So first of all, let's talk about the mistakes that many of y'all are making. I know I was making them too before, which is posting without a purpose. So you see everybody posting content, all the other personal trainers, and you're like, okay, I need to post content too. So maybe you're showing your abs, maybe you're showing your ass, but there's really no purpose behind these pretty pictures that you are posting. Because at the end of the day, if I'm a potential client and I'm thinking like, you look good, but how are you going to help me with my problem and my pain point? And we'll get to that. Second mistake you're making, you're attempting to be perfect, meaning you're trying to have this pretty streamlined timeline on your feed with your branding and your colors, and you're just spending too much time being perfect, which is causing you stress and a headache. And at the end of the day, if you appear too perfect and too pretty, people are going to think that you're not really real or authentic. At the end of the day, you really want to be your real, raw, authentic, genuine self, and that's going to help connect with people better. Or three, you're making the mistake of not posting enough or at all. So if you're not posting, you are not making enough noise or present within the industry for your clients to even know who you are. And if you are not posting enough, maybe you post one day and then you don't post for 3 weeks, they're not really going to be able to understand who you are if you serve them and build that rapport and that trust. And at the end of the day, you really want to create that trust with your potential client so that way they are more you're more appealing, so that way they're always constantly on your timeline and seeing what you offer. And when you build that trust, that's going to help give them value to see like, okay, I need to work with you. And at the end of the day, you want to be the go-to authority for whoever you're serving and what you offer. So, how do you sell on social media as an online personal trainer? Well, first of all, you need to understand what is your audience's biggest problem or pain point right now. Meaning, they have been stressing and thinking about this, keeps them up at night. They think about it when they're driving to work, when they're picking up the kids. It's always constantly on their mind, and they just are looking for a solution. And maybe they've invested thousands of dollars into this problem and have yet got it resolved. And that's where you would come in. And how are you going to do that? By applying at least 2 to 3 posts, like sharing this a week. And you want at least one of those to be a social proof. And what is social proof? That is a testimonial. This can be a before and after picture of yourself, of a client, possibly a video. Reels are really awesome, being informative, but something that's going to give them that value that's solving their pain point. And think about something that's a real pain, not like, okay, these are tips of how to drink more water. Are people really thinking about, I need to drink more water? No, they're thinking about, let's give an example of nutrition. Nutrition is big in the industry, and there's a lot of trainers that might not focus on touch on nutrition enough. But if you're touching on nutrition really specific, you're really going to help deliver a solution, and a lot of people are going to reach out to you. So this is just an example of myself when I was in the fitness industry full time. I would share pictures of my clients, but I would also share my own story. I personally was 45 pounds heavier than I am today, and I struggled with nutrition, bloating, gut health, thinking that I needed to stay away from carbs. I was always on this weight cycling. It was just a horrible cycle, and I would share my story and then how I got to the solution. So this is just an example of a post that I shared a little over a year ago, and I'll just share it with you. So for years, I bought into all the things about how to eat and shed those last few pounds. I couldn't seem to ditch my habit of emotional eating and weight cycling. Within my program, I touched on a lot about habits. So to can keep going, I was stuck for so long before I finally figured out the simple secret. Now, I don't share the simple secret within this post. I'm gonna call that is in the call to action, which we'll go over in just a second. So if you resonate with these same habits, I've been there, girl. I believe there was something wrong with me. I must not be able to lose this weight. Nothing works for me. My metabolism is slower now. I tried so many tricks to speed up the results, all of which ultimately backfired. I always ended up going to the same habits, emotional eating, feeling guilty, and feeling directionless. What was going on? Where was I going wrong? I just wanted to feel good knowing why I'm doing something that works. It took me some time to come to this realization, but I finally figured out the simple secret to getting my body to respond feel more energy, and enjoy it all again. If you haven't taken advantage, and so what I had done is I created a guide, a nutrition guide, which I called a blueprint, which went into macros, nutrition, and basically how to stop this cycle. It was a free guide. So what I said is if this is you, if this sounds like you and you want this free guide, go ahead and say, I want it below. Hey, it's free. I had almost over 100 comments below of people saying, I want it. What I did was I reached out to, this was an invitation to reach out to all of these women to send them this free guide. That free guide was actually a sales funnel that directed and led them into my program. Now, this is without ads or campaigns or anything like that. It was just all a seamless process. And if you guys haven't tapped into the training in regards to what a sales funnel is, make sure to go listen to the last training, which is posted in regards to what a sales converting funnel is and why you need it. That's something that we also go over within the Brand Training University. So this content piece directed sales to conversions because we went over the biggest pain point, which then offered them the solution. So once you find out and figure out, okay, what is that pain point that people are having right now, then you want to offer them the solution to that biggest pain problem right now. Again, that's going to be in that 2 to 3 posts a week. After you do that, you want to offer a call to action. So what is the call to action to deliver the solution to that biggest problem pain point? So as you saw the content piece, we had what's the problem? Nutrition, yo-yo dieting. What was the solution? My secret sauce. And you can actually also share your secret sauce within the post if you want. And the call to action was, hey, do you want in? Do you want the solution? Go ahead and comment below, or they could click the link in the bio. That was the call to action, which is directing them where to go to get the solution, which is you. And so this is an example of a current member of the Brand Training University who is getting results by implementing these strategies. Niching down is a process, which we'll go over niche in another training. Niching down is a process. I thought I was already being specific, but after trying to get consistent and attract my ideal client, I realized I was speaking to everybody. The Brand Training University helped me get clear on my offer and my audience. Once I did, I was able to attract more high-paying clients. I learned who my specific niche is and the messaging to deliver the solution to solve their pain point, along with filter out those who are not a good fit for my program. This is Ali. So this is Ali before. So before, as I was mentioning, no kind of strategy, randomly posting content, sometimes on a Tuesday, sometimes in 2 weeks, didn't really have any purpose, wasn't sure who she was talking to. This is Ali today. Now she knows exactly who her audience is. Before it was just high performance women, but now it's high performance women who were previously athletes. That's way more specific. So her concept is fit and fitness. So if you were a former athlete and maybe you're a CEO or a business owner, you've got to find the time to fit it in because you're so busy. And she uses words like add this to your playbook. Playbook is a common terminology. If you were a former athlete, you would know what that means. So now she's creating content that is speaking directly to her audience's problem pain point. She's offering a solution with the call to action in all of her posts. And now she's seeing conversions. She's seeing more people in her program, and she's hitting record months that she was not hitting before. And this is Tiana. She is a veteran. She is an alumni and a graduate of the Brand Training University. And as you can see before, her content was great, but there was really no purpose behind her content. It was kind of all over the place. And this is Tiana today. Very clean, streamlined, excellent content, funny, humor. She shows her personality and she's speaking to her women. She focuses on gut health, mindset, and nutrition. And so she's speaking to her audience. Even her email campaigns, which I'm a part of, the messaging is spot on. And that is through creating those systems and that messaging. And we actually have Tiana here today to share her story of where she was to where she was today. And so I'm actually going to bring Ty on. So here's Ty today. So Ty, thank you so much for joining us today to just share your story of, where I know you saw that. So where you were compared to where you are today, and then how you were able to implement some of those systems and tools that you learned within the Brand Training University.
Girl, this is so loaded. Like, I loved how you talked about purpose because that's essentially what this is. Like, it is basically a journey to your purpose. When I started, like before I even started the Brand Trainers, that was in 2019. I was working under someone in a holistic gym. I was learning how to train people, but I was still figuring out Okay, what's my mission? I know I love training people, but it's like I feel like I could do so much more than just train people. I think when I first started, like the other girl had mentioned, like you had mentioned with the other woman, about just like niching down. Like I was like, okay, I just want to help women break limiting beliefs and start living in their purpose. That was so broad. And then like to now, it's where I'm like, okay, you know what do women really need help with? And it took me like a year to really, just from training and listening and doing market research, things that you've all taught us in the brand trainers, to be like, okay, what do women need? Not what you think they need, not what you want them to need, but what do they need? And I've been able to get that. And it's like, okay, y'all are really struggling with like food, relationship with your body, just what you're putting into your body, all those types of things, including myself. This past year, I actually had a whole gut transformation. I learned so much from holistic doctors and registered dietitians and things like that. And I was like, wow, like there's so many women that I'm even training right now that are struggling with like PCOS, endometriosis, diabetes. And it's like, it all starts from the gut. Okay, sis, you already got gut issues that you've struggled with your whole life. You've learned so much this year. How can you start helping women that are like you, something very specific, and help them? So that's kind of like where I am now. But like before I even started branching, look, I was just doing what everybody else was doing. I thought was going to actually make me some money. Okay, you know, you have that mentality of like, girl, I just gotta get these bills paid. Girl, I just gotta like, you know, get some clients, you know, like, and you start just kind of like getting lost in the sauce, like you said, like just posting pictures that don't necessarily have purpose. And don't get me wrong, you can go to my page. Me personally, I like to I call it sauce, out there, because yes, it brings engagement to your page. It shows that you're not just a trainer. It shows that you, especially if you're someone that's like into fashion or just into beauty, like I'm really big into natural hair. So you may see videos of just natural hair and stuff like that on my page. And that's my sauce, something other than just what my direction is for my niche, essentially, just to kind of bring more people in, more eyes in. But before, again, I didn't have any clarity. Um, I didn't have any systems. Okay, I didn't have no contracts. I didn't have no websites or anything like that. To where now I'm just like, I have a back end thing to where like if I have my guide, which is something I do have coming out, I do have a new guide coming out. Because again, I'm in the middle of rebranding, y'all. So like, and again, it's a journey to like really niching down each and every time. Like, okay, this isn't working. Being able to have a pivot. All again, guys, these are all things that I've learned from them. Like, something's not working, pivot. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Like, just change. This isn't working. Okay, what else can I do that let me go back to the books. Let me go back to the research. That type of stuff. And that's kind of like where I am now. And it's like, okay, learned all this, taking it, being able to apply it, and then seeing if it works. And then if it is working, continue to replicate that, like y'all have in the branch and or pacer method. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't be teetering off to do different stuff, y'all. Because there's a lot of distractions on social media. Like, oh, that worked for them. Let me try that. That worked for them. Let me try that. And I was doing that. But now I'm just kind of like, no, what's going to work for you, and stick to the formula. Like, and sometimes you got to change that formula up because Instagram's constantly changing. So you're going to have to constantly change. Like, before, some like reels work for a lot of people, and sometimes they work for me, but for fitness videos, they don't work for me that well. But carousel fitness videos work. Carousels work very well for me, but it took me a minute to really figure that out. But I wouldn't have that patience or that mindset of like trying out different things if I didn't have this experience with the brand trainers. So I mean, I guess now I just kind of have that go-getter spirit after trying all this, and just kind of like understanding that, you know, is a process. One thing I will say is that they'll give you the tools that you need. You'll get everything that you need, honestly, from the books that they suggest you to read, for the systems and tools, the templates for your back end stuff. Like I still use Go Follow Up, all that stuff. But it's really up to you and your mindset, and not being afraid, and really practicing on that daily. I feel like that was the key component to like me being able to continue this level up. I know me, you had a conversation before this just about like figures. Before I even started the brand trainers, I was working under somebody. I had 8 clients, maybe making like $13 a session or something stupid like that, like $13 a session. Working my little behind off, working at a sports bar. Y'all was working at a sports bar till 4 a.m. every day, and then going to train clients. And then like from there, like I was like, okay, I can't do this no more. I got the experience I needed from that situation, moved on from that, started training clients of my own. Still not charging my worth because I'm still that mindset component, because you really don't really know what you want to do, who you are when you first get started, and it takes time to build that. And I had a mentorship from you all to actually grow in that. Making like, I think that first, because I started brand trainers in 2019, I think I made $4,000. And then last year I did it again. It was a process, y'all, because I did the brand trainers. Was it September of 2019? It was towards the end of the year. So like I made 4,000. After that, that's how I made. And then in the following year, I made like 11. Again, that was COVID. Like it was COVID. You know what I mean? $11,000. I was working at a sports bar still. Sports bar laid me off. I was like, okay, look, sis, you got to go full throttle online. By then, I had already had everything made and set out and planned, ready to go. I had the back end systems already planned out. My story, I take the time to really write down everything in docs so I can always have something to refer back to. Obviously, continuously editing them as I edit my beliefs and my learning that I have over time. And I'm sorry if this is long-winded, y'all, but I'm giving y'all the whole.
Yeah, let us know.
This is so long-winded. And then from there, like I want to say the end of this last year was like the year that took off for me. Like I know COVID was so hard for a lot of people, but it really allowed me to hone in and just being present online in a way that I wasn't able to when I was so distracted with like work and things like that. But moving forward from then, so I was able to be consistent online, consistent with my content. I probably want to say I maybe changed my mission statement twice last year as well, and twice this year to where I'm here now. Again, it takes y'all, I promise y'all, the verbiage is so important. And it's you gotta be very specific to where this year, I just checked it this morning, actually, how much money I made from year to date. I had wrote it on my calendar this year that I was going to be anchored in God. And I said, I want to make 60,000, and I've already made that. And the year isn't even over yet. The year isn't even over yet. And I was like, oh, girl, what's happening? But that was my goal for myself. And it was just like, okay, I don't work anywhere else. All I do is online coaching and in-person training. And I'm not training like a dog either. I will say that. I just charge my worth. Like, I'm not charging people $20 a session. Like, no, we're not doing that because I have so much value to give. So I train my clients twice a week. I do have one virtual class on Mondays and Wednesdays as optional training sessions. And after that, I'll be chilling. Like I work on my business. I'm able to do what I want to do. And this is for now. I think that's the biggest thing is people feel like, oh gosh, I don't want to have to work these long hours and do all this. You got to start somewhere. You can't skip steps. There's no skipping steps. I wanted to skip all of these steps, like all of them. And it's like, no, you got to kind of like see this level and then you'll get to this level and then you'll get to this level. So this is what I'm doing now. This is going to look completely different next year, just because what I have in the makings. But so yes, went from making that 4,000 to like where I am now. So next year we're just gonna have to double that. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now.
That's amazing. So go from like in your business 4,000 to 60,000. That is like what, girl? Like, the year ain't even over.
But the year ain't over. The year ain't over. This is crazy.
So wait till December 31st where we're gonna be at, okay? Girl. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I love that. Just to see, like, even like I know you saw like your book count time before and you're like, girl, oh my gosh, so was that me?
Yo, like, and it's just you, okay. And again, like I promise you, it has a lot to do with your mindset. You can't be afraid. You really got to trust the process. You got to trust yourself, trust God, trust the people that are coaching you throughout this process. And just show up. You gotta show up. Like I know so many people in my industry that just don't show up, and then they're showing up for the wrong reasons. Like even posting on social media, like I think of it as work. Like the same way you show up to your 9 to 5 because you gotta be there, even though you don't want to be there. Sometimes I don't want to be on social media. I just be like, and I give myself grace. Like, I'll take a day off this and that, but you gotta show up. There's just no way around it. Like the same way back, like when was it 30, 40 years ago, people had to put ads in the newspapers. You think they want to do that? You think they want to put their Sally salon open this week? Come by. We got $10 off haircuts. Like, you think she wanted to pay that to put that in the news? No, she didn't. This is what we're doing now. So you have to show up. There's no way around it. Like, there's really no way around it. This is the way marketing is. You have to market yourself. There's just no way around that. Especially the way social media is nowadays. It's like we have to really be, again, very specific. We have to be very intentional about what we're saying. We just gotta hit nonstops. It's not just as much as we that organic growth that we used to have. Everything has to be strategized. Everything has to be planned. Everything has to be very particular. Like, if you just out here just winging it, it's gonna look like you're winging it, and nobody's gonna be listening. Mm-hmm. So I can always tell that my content always does better when I take the time to plan it, take the time to be like, these are my content pillars. These are the bullet points beside the content pillars. I want to hit this. I want to hit testimonials. I want to hit my personal story. I want to hit fact checks, all of that jazz. But it has to be consistently doing that over and over and over and over again. People go to work and do Excel spreadsheets every day at work. They get paid. You gotta do the same thing for yourself.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Ty. You really touched on everything we just touched on, and then some. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Again, being specific, being purposeful, being consistent, and showing up even though you don't want to. This is your job. If you want to grow online, you got to be and show up online. So again, Ty, thank you so much for taking the time to share your story today. So I'm going to go ahead and continue into the presentation. But again, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. Sure. You guys all make sure to go follow Ty on social media, on Instagram. It is at Let's Talk Tyana. You can get, inspiration and just see what her feed looks like, how she's very consistent, very purposeful, if you need some inspiration. So again, Ty, thank you so much.
Of course. Bye, guys.
And so going back to social media. So as you heard from Ty, where she was before, where she is now, and how she's been really purposeful and strategic in her content. And so what is the strategy moving forward for you? You have to think about, ask yourself, who am I targeting? So who is your specific ideal client? You really want to niche down, which again, we're going to go over a training. If you're unsure what a niche is or how to find out what that is, stay tuned for the next training. And what do I want them to feel when they're coming to my page and engaging with my content? What's the problem and pain that they have right now? What's the solution that I provide to solve that pain or problem? And then what do I want them to do about it? Meaning what action, what direction, where do you want them to go? And again, you want to be sharing this at least 2 to 3 times a week, and at least one being social proof. And so to recap, you want to offer and figure out, okay, what is the problem? What is the solution? And what is the CTA, which is a call to action? And now you might be thinking, okay, where do I go from here? So if you think about it, within this training, we went over your problem. Your problem right now is consistent content and probably posting aimless content and not really having a strategy. We just gave you the solution of how to deliver consistent content to your audience. And what is the call to action? The Brand Training University. And so if you haven't already done so before already, make sure to apply to the Brand Training University. We go over the 4 proven steps so you can start working less and earning more. We go through our framework of how you can start creating that consistent content that converts. And we give example templates and tools and strategies that you can implement immediately. So that way you can help start building out an evergreen ecosystem. So that way you're creating content, you're having those conversations, they're leading into a pipeline and a funnel and a system that's working on the back end for you. So that way you can start implementing these strategies and start creating social media content effortlessly that's connecting to your ideal dream clients. And if that's something that you're interested in and you're ready to take action, go ahead and comment below comment systems below, and we can go ahead and give you some of the free tools and templates to help you go ahead and start creating that content. And again, make sure to apply to the Brand Training University. The link is in the bio. And you guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, make sure to also let us know. But love you guys for being here. Thank you again for being on this live training. If you have any questions, again, make the comment below, comment systems below, and we will see you in the next training.